So here's like an update to like the situation with Wilkos. So straight off the bat, by the time of recording, well, they actually shut down, in fact, nearly all their stores, and yet there's still stores that are still open, but it's just that the 400 stores that they opened within this year and the years before then have of course been shutting down and therefore doing mass sales, and of course got a light bulb that are used for now on, and it was actually quite a good smart light bulb. However, well, they have been shutting down as you can see, and therefore from September 12th to the end of fucking from the end of fucking as October 8th, these shops will literally close it down from probably every single day. Because like it's probably like every single like 2 days there's like a massive chunk of stores that just closed down. It's because right it was based on like a deal because it was it like a biggest discount store and wasn't really making that much revenue. In fact, they're making loss on practically every single sale, and therefore the only place that they were actually getting profits were from investors that invested into the store. And they were doing this so many times to the point that I actually missed one sale, and this just collapsed the whole probably the whole store, and therefore BMM actually brought out some of the stores, and that's also a discount store, 51 of the stores, and well, yeah, and I'll link the article links description down below, see if your area has been affected, but mine actually has been affected and mine has been shut down. It's actually quite sad since that Wilkos was based on standards and high good standards, especially the discounts, but now it just turned around and just destroyed itself. So basically, people just say that there's no point living in a country without Wilkos because people survived upon Wilkos because Wilkos got against the inflation, and therefore the money that they actually be making would have been quite decreased, and therefore not that much compared to inflation wise. So basically they were still fighting inflation, and we could have all fought inflation because what is right, if all the other stores set to Wilco prices, that means where inflation would strike down. Right, because right, the inflation would just slow down. But this way thing, inflation goes when prices generally in every single store and all stores slowly rise. Right, this is how inflation kind of works when stuff that have been cheap for 1 year slowly rise because it's based on an agreement of all the stores. And they could have done that, but like instead, right, they just increased the prices for more profits. But at the same time, they were actually increasing the prices for these items. So like you can compare it to like the 90s to now that inflation has been hitting very hard. So basically, yeah, they're still welcoming customers, but they won't be doing that for much long because also as I was saying to close by October 8th. But basically, the other 4G stores are basically all here that I'm not gonna fucking read out. But if your store is actually still here, that is where you're still lucky to have a Wilkos, and so we're basically yeah, so it's quite sad how that this store gone from a loving store to just a store that just died because it was based on investors. Like, I believe that this is just because how the fucking country was ran. Like, you know, for fun, recently I actually made a video based on Birmingham City Council actually going bankrupt, and this was actually caused by the bankruptcy of multiple but basically it's caused by the fact that they had a literal lawsuit on their ass, and this lawsuit was practically milking out their cash because it was equality pay, and they were in a settlement, and due to this right and many other factors, this just caused it to go full on bankrupt, causing the whole basically city of Birmingham to go bankrupt. And I was predicting that other councils may actually follow in the same suit, and I actually predicted another prediction that they were also getting help from the central council. And one of my predictions actually got correct. That is the prediction of the help from the central council, because right, this central council, because I knew for a fact that was actually going to happen because if they won't be getting out based on the council, then where would they get the money from? Because it's simply because when they go into bankruptcy, they have two options. There's A, they're trying to refund the money themselves, or B, they will literally ask for help by the central government. But like, yeah, so it's just sad, really. So but you go like, what happened to the website? So I actually got to the website and set back. It actually looks fine, but if you want to shop for something, it's unfortunately not there, because if I ordered them actually on what is it, like email when it's in stock. So basically you can't really order anything because of it. So I believe this website will actually go into sale, just like the trademark, and someone's gonna buy that and try to bring back the good old Wilkos. So yeah, so basically, yeah, so this is just the downfall of it. I believe that it actually did good while it lasted, but the main disadvantage was it was simply too cheap and it just fucked things up. So yeah, it's just sad really now, cause like before it was fine, but now it was just shit. So basically, this is not only one of the many stores that are not discount but also shut down. Just could also show like shit and that. We could go to the office and there's nothing at the office despite the fact the shops are dying. Like I don't know what they do with the trademark. I don't know. You can still register for an account. That's still crazy though. Wasn't their ideas actually? Like, let us just review the basically the website because it's just really cool. So it doesn't seem like as if they have like the news still up. Basically beforehand they had like a news section going like, oh yeah, everything's on discount, we're shutting down. Here's a letter based on Mark Jackson and yeah, basically like that. But now it's just simply reset it to the normal website, and I believe that it's just gonna stay like that until they shut down all their stores, shut down the whole thing, and just sell off the website so that they can pay off all the loans. It was just simply because it's stacking on too much loans, just like the Burlington one. So see ya.